So, thank you to those of you here in person and those of you online, joining online, welcome. I'm Nicole. Some of you I've met before and some of you I am meeting for the first time. It's always good to be here and to be teaching at the Dharma Collective and to be stepping in for my good friend and colleague, Eve Ekman. She's away surfing, so we can, in the back of our minds, think of her in the beauty where she is in Mexico and surfing. And we had if you're in the San Francisco Bay Area, it was gorgeous today, so beautiful. It feels like spring. So I come in with a background in studying some Buddhist, like Tibetan Buddhist techniques for meditation, and also with a deep knowledge of yoga philosophy and yoga techniques. So I'll be bringing some of both of those into tonight, as I usually do. And we'll start with an embodied practice. I don't know about you, but it feels like there's a lot going on right now. Can anybody relate? A lot going on in the world right now, in many, many parts of the world. And I mean, you can just take one facet of that politically. You know, maybe you're dealing with that psychologically in a certain way. There are things going on around the world. There may be things interpersonally with your relationships that are going on as well. So I know that we're coming in holding a lot right now, and I'm feeling that. And as I was preparing for tonight and thinking about what would be most helpful and most needed, I was thinking about what has been really helpful for me in these times. And what has been most helpful for me is using practices probably more frequently throughout the day, shorter practices that help to soothe, to calm, to ground, and come back into presence. So I'd like for us to start with a practice to do just that, so that we can be fully here, fully present, that we can shed anything that we've been holding, or at least as much as we can in this moment. So I invite you to take the microphone so everyone online can hear me. So I invite you to stand up for just a moment. You don't need very much space. That's actually great. Can you all hear me online with this mic? Yes? Okay, great. Yes. So a few very simple techniques to soothe the nervous system, and this is kind of scientifically backed, is we're going to start with a little bit of a sway. It doesn't have to be super big sway. It can be really small, maybe even imperceptible, or it can be big. You can include your arms and your other limbs, so to your heart's desire. And this swaying or rocking from side to side, what it does is it stimulates the kind of vestibular system that controls your sense of balance, your sense of your body and space. And by doing so, it taps into more of a parasympathetic nervous system state. It's part of the reason why, to soothe babies, you rock them from side to side, right? So rocking. Now, we'll add one more piece to this, and I'm just gonna kind of show, and then I'll pick up the mic again. So this is called bilateral stimulation, and you'll just watch, and then I'll pick up the mic again. Those of you online, I'll crouch down. The idea is to stand tall and keep on swaying. Your forearms are crossed to opposite shoulders, and you'll tap one and then the other. So tapping one and then the other. And the bilateral stimulation, thank you. The bilateral stimulation, what it does is it stimulates both hemispheres of your brain, right and left side. And in doing so, brings you into a state of more integration and calm. This also helps to soothe the nervous system and bring you into a more parasympathetic nervous system state. So just doing that for a few more rounds from side to side. Okay, and then allowing that to settle, just feeling the sensations, feeling how that lands in your body, feeling your feet on the earth if you're standing. And then I invite us to do one more thing. It's just a little tiny shake, a little tiny kind of wiggle. So maybe start with your hands, then come into your forearms, upper arms, and into your chest, maybe into your torso and into your belly, into your hips, into your thighs, into your lower legs, maybe even getting into your feet. You can tap them on the floor. Imagine that this is kind of a pleasant release. Like we want to just release a little bit of what we're holding on to, just maybe even drip it down into the floor. Allow the earth to take it, the earth to hold it, holding this together, and just shaking it off. Little pleasant shake. And then finally letting that go. The last piece that we'll use in order to soothe, to come into presence, is called VU breathing. And this is a kind of toning. It's a kind of deep breathing technique with sound. And it comes from somatic experiencing, which was developed by Peter Levine. The idea is to make it kind of like a hum so that the vibration, the sound happens inside instead of sending the sound out. So for one round, let's just hum together. Inhale deeply and hum at some tone. Oh, that's so satisfying. Let's do it one more time. Inhale. So we become like this collective hive. We're connected through sound and through our coordinated breath. And the VU breathing, it sends it out just a tiny bit more forcefully and with a little bigger sound. Let me demonstrate once and then we'll do 3 rounds of this together. So it sounds like this. So it's kind of like a hum inside, but because of the placement of your mouth and jaw and sending just a little bit of breath out through pursed lips, it tends to even get a little bit more of that vibrational quality and is even more soothing, potentially, to the nervous system. So does this all make sense? Nicely done. We'll do it 2 more times. So mostly what you're feeling come out of your lips is just breath, and you're feeling the vibration and the sound kind of come inside. Is that all making sense? Yeah? Okay, 2 more times. Inhale. Inhale deeply. Let's do one more. Inhale. So allowing that to land in your body. And then as you feel ready, coming back to some sort of seated position. You always have permission to stay standing or to lie down in a comfortable position as well. And then for a brief moment, So these are all different forms of resourcing, of grounding. I invite you to very lightly close your eyes and think of a place in nature that you really love, that makes you feel present, maybe even that fills you with awe. The eyes closed or open, and a light gaze, a soft gaze. Allowing a picture of some place in nature that you've connected with to come into some focus, to notice sensations as they're arising in your body, connected with being in this place, seeing, feeling, tasting, smelling in that environment. Being with some place in nature as a resource. And as you rest in this place, I'll read to you one of my favorite new poems that I've been introduced to by Rosemary Watola Traumer, called Like the Peony. Like the peony that opens and opens and opens. This is how I want to meet life. Surviving the cold, then returning to bloom again. Again. That vibrant, that many-petaled, embarrassingly fulsome, as if life just can't get enough of itself. I know how winter ravages. Sounds like a metaphor? Truth is life cuts you to the ground, and you lose all but the roots. Sometimes those too. How is it then comes the chance to bloom again, to be less master of life and more servant to the life that pushes through? I want to be fluent in blooming. I want to trust the possibility of sweet spring perfume as much as I trust the inevitability of frost. I am so grateful for beauty, albeit brief, for the chance to be naked, tender, soft. Feeling the words land. Perhaps you and this beautiful peony in this place in nature, becoming fluent in blooming. And if your eyes have been closed for this practice, I invite you to very slowly begin to open them again. And coming back into the group. Might even look around the space that we find ourselves in here together, those of you online, looking around your physical space, doing any stretching if that's helpful. So just a brief practice for us to arrive. And all of these tiny strategies employed throughout our day can really start to make a huge difference, huge difference. And I've been using them a lot. So as I was thinking of coming here, I thought, I want to start with that. I want to start with grounding us in that. And I also find that coming together in community and sharing openly is also something that has really been grounding me. So we will do a longer practice as well. But I do want to start now that we have arrived. We perhaps have found some resource to pose a couple of questions. So the first question is, where have you felt discomfort? And you can share detail, or you can share something that's a little bit more kind of broad about where have you felt those kind of edges? Where have you felt discomfort? And then the second question is, what are you grateful for right now? Where have you found resource? Is there a person or a pet or a place in nature that you've been leaning on? Is there a practice that you've been using? So you may answer one or both. And so I'm just going to open it up to all of you. So where have you been feeling any type of discomfort? And where have you found beauty, resource, gratitude? And I have the mic if you, yeah.
I'll start out.
Okay.
I've been feeling discomfort in an old Achilles tendon injury
Yeah.
that got irritated from me overdoing it. And it's taking a long time for it to settle back down. So I haven't been able to do some of the running and walking that I do every day in my neighborhood out by the beach that I really take a lot of comfort in. So rather than since I haven't been able to do that, I've been doing much shorter walks here and there in different areas in the city, but
Yeah.
driving around the city to get to these places. And I've lived here for, next year it'll be 50 years.
Wow.
And I love San Francisco. It's absolutely gorgeous. And it still is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
And there's so many, and so I've been taking a lot of pleasure and comfort in just how beautiful the city is and how easy it is to get someplace that's really beautiful and interesting. Today I was walking around in Yerba Buena Center, and
nice.
it's remarkable. It's like this low-lying little island in this sea of huge buildings, and it's so much fun to just sort of look at them all.
Yeah.
And see the contrast between some of the old Art Deco facades and then these big glass skyscrapers, and then the Salesforce building,
Yeah.
which my youngest son services the LED lights on the outside of that thing
Oh, wow.
by hanging on ropes.
Whoa.
And I was looking at it today, imagining him up there going, Jesus, fuck.
Yeah.
I like this place.
It's great. It's good to live in a place that you like, isn't it? Where you feel at home.
That's why I stayed here so long.
Yeah, I can relate to that. And what I love thank you so much for sharing. And what I love in your share is that you took this discomfort and saw it as an opportunity. You reframed it as an opportunity. Okay, well, I can't do my normal things, so what can I do? What can I do? And you took it as an opportunity to explore and drive more and find new places. So I think that is a really good model and a good example of how we can reframe and reorient ourselves in moments of struggle.
Yeah, because it'd be easy for me to just lay around in my very comfortable home and grouse about it.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
No fun.
Yeah. Speaking of discomfort, loud traffic noises, car alarms. Anybody else have anything to share? The mic's coming.
Do I speak into here?
Yes.
Okay. I feel like I've been feeling discomfort generalized in my body,
Yeah.
like a heaviness, and I feel like it then also weighs in, it's coming from kind of like my mind.
Yeah.
And where I find comfort is meditating and chanting on at the water, the Embarcadero.
Amazing.
And I think there's a little patch of like grass there that I try to ground and set my intentions and practice gratitude.
Yeah.
And I do start to feel a little bit of a lightness
Yeah.
when I do that. And it kind of just reminds me of like letting things go.
Yeah.
But still in a way where I'm embodied instead of disassociating or letting go.
I love it.
completely.
I love it. Such good strategies. And I'm feeling a lot of that too. I can relate to that. I think that you see other people nodding too, that there's a lot coming at us right now. So that feeling inside the body, that's a natural reaction of the body, right? To have those kinds of feelings of heaviness, maybe if we're feeling some more emotions, right? We're having maybe some thoughts, some recursive thoughts that are happening. And this is when we especially need to rely on our practices and know what works for us. And so you not only did some chanting and meditating, but you did it in nature. So extra points for that. And so yeah, see, we all can learn from one another and be inspired by one another. And thank you so much for sharing. Yeah. Anyone else? Yeah.
Oh, I guess I'll go.
If you'd like to.
Taking the mic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely resonate with what you were saying, and also I had an ear injury, and it was not only painful but distracting because I lost like some of my hearing in the ear,
Wow.
and I've just never encountered that, and you know, of course, it's like concern of, is this going to be like this forever,
Yeah.
or is it going to go away? And last weekend we went on a hike in the South Bay to a trail I'd never been on, and it was just so, there was nothing like particularly remarkable about it, but it was just stunning in itself, you know,
Yeah.
like views of the ocean and like San Francisco and the mountain, the hills, and it's a beautiful time of year, and then I just kind of felt this sense of like, oh my gosh, like the world is so much bigger than this, and then we happened to drive by this field with all of these horses in it, and I was like, oh, horses, and I see people walking through the middle of these horses. There's a trail, and so we found this trail and just happened to like have all these horses around us, and I love
Amazing.
horses. And yeah, and just to kind of like be in their presence and have them walk up to us and, you know, kind of do like pet them as they walk by, but just also just watch them be free and rolling in the grass. And I just felt like this extreme presence. You know, there was nothing else I was thinking about except like, you know, like smell, like the smell of them and like the sounds they were making, and just like they're just such majestic creatures, like just that their presence alone. And I haven't been around horses in so long, so yeah, it was just like a really magical kind of thing to stumble across. And there are also owlets up on little owls up on Bernal.
Oh.
Yeah. So we've gone up there with our binoculars and are kind of peering at them.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's just like, I feel like there's all these little, like, it's just such a beautiful time of year to connect with nature and even in the city and the wildlife that we're also so privileged to have. So yeah, it's a huge kind of saving grace for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And when we are, I mean, it is beneficial that we're moving into spring and things are blooming, there's new life, there are new things to see. And what I love about this, and part of the reason why I asked both of these questions side by side, is that if we look for it, there's always going to be two sides of the coin. There's going to be discomfort, but there's also going to be serendipity. There's going to be beauty that we can see, but we have to look for it. We have to remember to look for it. And I don't want us to say, no, I'm just going to kind of block out all the discomfort and all of the things. I'm going to dissociate from the discomfort, right? No, that's there too. We need to be with that too. And we can also hold beauty. Yeah. I'm thinking of those horses now. Sounds beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. Anybody else? Somebody online want to speak?
Yeah, thank you. I've
Yeah.
been suffering a lot from anxiety, and it's like a seizure, and it's so uncomfortable. And last time you
Mm,
you taught the 4-7-8 breathing, and oh
yeah.
my goodness, it's so helpful. And Tenzin Wangyal Rinpoche has something similar, but I've been, using the both. But just being with that, having the courage to just be with that raw, it seems like it's going to go on forever and it's the worst thing ever, is and then till it exhausts. But taking refuge in the Dharma. And you also, last time, you reminded me to notice when I'm enjoying things. So I travel a lot on my bicycle. I live in a beautiful place too. I know most San Franciscans don't think of San Jose as a beautiful place, but it is. So when I'm
Well,
going
it is.
here and
Yeah.
there, just noticing how good it feels. I'm really fit, and it just feels good to
Mm,
ride the bike, or I do a big workout a few days, but just noticing
yeah.
trying to remember to notice what does feel good, and then taking refuge in the spiritual practices.
Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. I've been feeling more anxiety lately too. Um, I think that, maybe some others can relate. And another thing that you brought into the conversation in forms of practice, so we have resourcing with gentle movement, with deep breathing, but we also can have more vigorous exercise-based resources too. Those are helpful. They are what are called hormetic stressors. And what it does with the nervous system and with the body is that there's this peak with the exertion, with the activity, and then it brings us back down into a state of calm. So thinking of the plethora of tools that we have at our fingertips, you might find something that is a little bit surprising. It's not just about sitting for meditation and in calm. There are lots of mindful contemplative practices that can help us. Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah. Anybody else want to share anything? I want to make sure to leave space if anybody else wants to share. Okay. We feel complete? Yeah, that's good. So we will move into a little longer practice, and the focus of this practice is coming into presence and being with what is, and also turning toward a feeling of gratitude for what we have and what is. So I invite you to come into a comfortable position for, this will be about 20 to 30 minutes. Adjusting your body, This can be done seated or lying down. Do make sure that if you're seated that you have an easy length through your spine. With your teeth lightly apart, your tongue touching your gums just above your upper teeth. Relaxing your arms, allowing your shoulder blades to slide down your back. Your hands to either be together in some fashion or resting separate on your thighs. You can soften your gaze, turning it downward slightly, or you can close your eyes completely, whatever feels best to you. And I invite you to begin to notice your breathing. One of the fastest ways to relieve stress and anxiety is with deep breathing. It's something that has been studied and is at this point scientifically proven. We did VU breathing exercise earlier, but we will actually do some 4-7-8 breathing. This was developed by Andrew Weil. And this is to give you some vagal tone, to stimulate the vagus nerve, and bring you into a state of more calm and groundedness. So the inhale will happen to a count of 4. You'll pause for 7 at the top, and you'll exhale for 8. And I'll guide you through it the whole way. Inhale deeply to prepare. Exhale, empty out completely. Then through your nose, inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Same pace. Inhale for 4. Pause for 7. Exhale for 8. And inhale 4. Pause for 7. Exhale 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Pause for 7. Exhale for 8. Do 2 more like that on your own, counting in your head. And at the end of your second round of breathing, come back to your natural spontaneous breathing. allowing your breath to move in and out. Another way to come into presence, calm presence, is by taking some time to briefly visit the sensory gates. So opening up to any awareness you have of taste. Maybe it's a memory of something you ate earlier today or drank earlier today. Maybe it's sweet or sour. Maybe connecting your sense of taste to sharing appreciation for it. Is there a particular food or beverage that you're grateful for? Something that always feels calming or soothing. Connecting with your sense of taste and thinking of something that you really like tasting. What are you grateful for tasting? Visiting your sense of smell. This could be noticing if there's anything that you're smelling right now in this moment, or maybe there's a memory of a smell, particular type of flower, for example, type of incense, or the ocean breeze. Connecting with your sense of smell and also thinking of some sort of smell that you're grateful for, something you really like. Maybe it's the smell of a pet or a loved one, a type of tree. Turning to your sense of hearing. Yes, noticing what you're hearing in this moment. Then also thinking about something that you really like to hear, you like to listen to. The sound of someone's voice, bird song, a particular song. Maybe you like going to the symphony. Connecting with something to explore gratitude of hearing. What do you like to listen to? Moving to your sense of sight. Either seeing what you see behind closed eyelids, or if your eyes are slightly open, you can notice what you're visually perceiving in this moment. But then also just thinking about what you're grateful for seeing. Might be something in recent memory, something you saw earlier today, or a favorite place or a favorite face. Blue sky, clouds. Connecting with gratitude for sight. What do you like seeing? Connecting with your sense of touch and feeling perhaps the sensations, the textures of your clothing, the feeling of the chair beneath you. If your feet are on the floor, feeling your feet on the floor. Your sense of touch, feeling of air on your skin. Also thinking about something that makes you grateful for your sense of touch. Holding someone's hand. Sunlight on your skin. A soft blanket. A light rain. Finding one or more things to connect with your sense of touch. Opening up to gratitude for touch. And as we land in gratitude for all of our senses, bringing into your awareness the fact that we're all here together practicing, cultivating the richness of gratitude for experience in life that is made real through our senses. And this type of gratitude, this type of sharing is all about relationship. So perhaps opening up to gratitude of community, the community that's here now together with intention and care and support, here together, gently breathing, calmly practicing. And thinking of your broader community, your family and friends, the other groups and communities that you're a part of. Expanding to include all of your community support. feeling a sense of connectedness and gratitude. Who are you grateful for? I invite you to rest your attention on one part of your body, your physical body, that you feel really grateful for. Might be, I really like the strength of my legs. Or I really like my toes. Might be connected to kind of feeling of strength or a pleasant feeling in that area of your body, or just something that is uniquely you. What are you grateful for in your own physical body in this moment? And perhaps connecting with that for a moment, breathing into it. Moving to rest your attention again on your breath. Finding a focal point at your nostrils or your chest or your belly. This breath that is the essence of life. Many traditions referred to as it the life force. Soft breathing. Perhaps with each exhale, saying a little thank you. Thank you, breath. Thank you for sustaining life. Thank you for being this constant. Thankfulness for gentle breathing. And thinking of resting your attention now, continuing to have some of your attention on the gentle breathing, on the space surrounding your heart. So your heart often being the place where that is seen as the seat of emotion. Doesn't mean it's the only place that you can connect with emotion, but noticing if anything is present around the space of the heart. If there are any deep feelings or emotions that are present for you right now. And to the degree that you can, staying with what's there. perhaps with a gratitude of what it feels like to be moved in some way. And complexity of being human means that we have many different feelings and emotions. You see yourself opening up to what's there. And if it feels like too much, you can go back to resting in the body or the breath, but noticing if there is anything that moves you, makes you feel, feeling gratitude for feeling. And moving gently now to the part of you that likes to make sense, tell stories, thinking. Part of us that is seen as uniquely human. Our ability to think, to grapple with complex topics, to problem solve. Noticing where your thoughts are in this moment, and also perhaps connecting with some gratitude for your own thinking brain. What stories are part of your life that are particularly meaningful? Maybe there are some skills that you have that you find really meaningful. All this requires thinking. So feeling perhaps and connecting with some gratitude for thinking. Maybe even thinking about what you like thinking about. And allowing this to fade away, invite you to either rest with a light awareness on your breathing or a light awareness on some part of your body that's easy to connect with ease, with calm. Perhaps recalling all of the senses, all the facets of who we are that we explored through gratitude. And by visiting each one of these facets of who we are, we open to the complexity of what it means to be human, noticing all of the pieces of what it means to be grateful. how it awakens the senses, how you feel it in the body, how it moves you. It's connected to emotion and how it moves you into story and thinking. So taking all of these beautiful pieces of you with you, I invite you to open up to one thing that you feel grateful for or inspired by. Maybe again visiting a place in nature that you connect with deeply. The love you feel for a pet or a child or a sibling or a parent. The love of a type of food or activity. And for the last few minutes, I invite you to expand on this one thing, allowing yourself to roam, to awaken to all of the senses, and how connecting with this thing that brings some sense of gratitude, what happens with your senses, what happens emotionally, what happens physically. How does it help you feel connected with others? So for a few more moments, gently breathing, connecting with gratitude, opening up to all the facets of who you are. Just a little bit of silence. As we begin to make our way to the end of practice, I invite you to perhaps think of one person or group of people that you would like to share this sense of gratitude with. Like you could kind of take the feeling, the sensations that are arising within you and implant them. Allowing that sense of wonder, awe, deep feeling to grow and expand. Giving it away, sharing it. Who do you want to share it with? And I invite you to very slowly begin to make your way back into our space, to the surface. And if your eyes have been closed, you can think of slowly opening them. And shifting your position in any way that makes sense and doing any stretching that feels good. Maybe even looking around the room, taking some deeper breaths. Yeah. Thanks so much for practicing, everyone. I've really been so in combination with this resourcing, with coming into presence again and again. Been thinking a lot about and doing daily gratitude practices, right? And it could look like a formalized practice like this, where you visit all of the different ways that you can experience gratitude, or it can look just like momentary kind of serendipity and noticing that in your daily life. And I think that this is a big part of what it means to kind of live beautifully. Those of you who have been coming to kind of practice to sit here with me when I've been here subbing for Eve will know that I've been really inspired lately by Pema Chodron. It just seems like she's my rock and my teacher right now. So I'm reading a lot of Pema Chodron. It feels like it is speaking directly to the times that we are living in right now. It's really resonating deeply with me. So as I was coming into today, I was reading Living Beautifully by Pema Chodron. And I have a few different quotes from this beautiful, beautiful book. And I think that it'll kind of bring into picture why I was inspired to really lean on gratitude for our practice and for our time together. So what she says is, the on-the-spot practice of being fully present, feeling your heart, and greeting the next moment with an open mind can be done at any time. When you wake up in the morning, before a difficult conversation, whenever fear or discomfort arises, that every moment is an opportunity to turn toward presence. To know that even when you feel discomfort, when you're anticipating a difficult conversation, that we can also kind of take the aspects of what we're grateful for, why we're alive, how we feel alive in every moment. says that it's a way to claim your courage, your kindness, and your strength. It's a way of extending warmth and acceptance to whatever is going on for you right now. Like you may have an aching back, an upset stomach, panic, rage, impatience, calmness, joy, whatever it is, you can let it be there just as it is without labeling it good or bad or telling yourself you should or shouldn't be feeling that way. Connected with what is, with love and acceptance, you can go forward with curiosity and courage, essentially taking a leap. And I think that sometimes, in order to take that leap into presence, especially when things feel challenging, we need to have that kind of inner resource and inner resilience. And gratitude can help us with that. And she quotes Shantideva in one of these chapters in the book, saying that Shantideva enthusiastically urges us to stay present even with extreme discomfort. There is nothing that does not grow light through habit and familiarity. Putting up with the little cares, I'll train myself to bear with great adversity. So how do we do that? How do we do that? That's the question I've been asking myself, and I think we need practices that allow us to kind of let go of the kind of stickiness of the things that are that bring about discomfort. And so landing in things that give us some ease, give us some reprieve, and taking that with us is kind of like our best friend as we move into the discomfort. It's like, oh yeah, and like there are things I'm grateful for, and like there are these other aspects of life that are beautiful, right? And I'm having this difficult conversation, but there's a beautiful tree. There's a beautiful flower. Yes, and. Yes, and. So it's a lot of what has been on my mind. I am really curious. I want to leave a little bit of time before we come to a close, and you'll see that I brought my harmonium. So I always end with a little bit of a kind of musical grounding and meditation at the end. So we will get to that, but we have a little bit of time if anybody wants to share any reflections about the meditation practice or what works really well for you, especially when things feel difficult. How do you also hold the good as a resource as you move into that difficulty so you can remain present for what is? Anybody have any reflections? Or you can just share like how that practice was for you, what you noticed.
Thank you for the practice. It was really nice. For me, it's just focusing on like what you were just talking about, the good things. And like Jimmy said, like San Francisco is like, it's a beautiful city, and
It is.
and all my life there's been like bad things,
Yeah.
and they're still there, but I've changed, and I choose what to focus on, right?
Right.
So growing up in the places I grew up with, and then even so coming here thinking this was better,
Yeah.
there's still, there's still poverty, there's still chaos, you can call it.
Totally.
But amongst the chaos, there's always beauty.
Mhm.
It just depends where you're looking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for tonight.
Hey, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. One of my favorite scholars of late, if you've not heard of this person, it's worth checking out. Bayo Akomolafe. Is anybody familiar with any of the work? Yeah. Really, really brilliant. Yeah. You Ruben, I know. He's like he's a little bit of a trickster and a poet, and he weaves in and out and moves from here to here, and then all of a sudden you're back together, and he somehow brings the lesson in. But I love one of his favorite metaphors is that a lot of the best work is done in the cracks, in the hidden places. And so we go kind of into the darkness, into the cracks to allow ourselves to blossom, to allow ourselves to come to insight. And that is actually where the best work is done, right? So seeing even the things that are more of like a rupture or crack as a learning, a growth opportunity, an opportunity to bring us into greater presence. And I kind of feel that in what you just shared. So thank you. Yeah. Anybody else? Probably have time for a couple more if you want to share. And then anybody online too is welcome to share.
That was absolutely lovely, particularly because in a couple weeks, I'm going to have a pretty significant birthday. And so these reviews are just so essential.
Yeah.
But what current circumstances are doing for me is it's making me realize that, no, seriously, I have got to stop talking garbage to myself because the garbage that they are spewing is just so effective that it better drown out my garbage.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear you there.
I'm trying to figure out how to balance like attention to what is, which is difficult,
Yeah.
and trying to not move into, because I think in the past I've sometimes moved into gratitude practice as a kind of a bypass, and
That's
like,
also
and it
important.
feels good, but
Yeah.
you know, if I check back to what's underneath all that wonderful gratitude, the thing is still, it hasn't metabolized. It's still
Sure.
waiting for something to
Yeah.
process or something. So I'm just trying to figure out, and I'd be interested if you have any thoughts about how
Yeah.
to navigate that
Yeah.
terrain.
I am so glad that you're bringing this up because that is the danger in working with this too. This is that it is possible to completely try to shut out or even effectively shut out the things that bring about discomfort and to never process them and to never kind of compost them, to catalyze, to metabolize these things. And if we always do that, it doesn't mean that they aren't still there, and they actually kind of can gain some power if we're continually pushing them away. And so I think that there are a couple of things that come up here. It sounds to me, especially if you're bringing it up here now, that they're probably ready to be examined. So the first and important thing is readiness to be able to face those sorts of things, because it can be really helpful and adaptive for a while when it feels like too much, when it brings up extreme overwhelm, to face those things, to have strategies that bring us a little bit away and give us some reprieve from them. But when we're ready to face them, we can start to kind of clear some of that holding, some of that kind of that drag, that energetic load of the thing that we've been avoiding, if we turn toward it and be able to process it. However, if we don't have any measures in place and have any balance in our lives to be able to kind of see it with perspective and with, a view of what's going on in our whole lives, so don't kind of spiral into that becoming all of who we are and our entire reality, then that becomes difficult. So when we're ready to face it, we need to also kind of bring all of our resources with us, all of our armor, our shielding with us. And so, yes, we want to notice when we're continually like, nope, not going to deal with that now, not going to deal with that now. and know when we're ready to go there, and also take our armor with us as we courageously move toward it. Does that make sense? Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for bringing that in, for sure. We might have time for one more if anybody else wants to share. Yeah.
Kind of following what you brought up with the state of overwhelm, I feel like I have been more on the side of overwhelm
Yeah.
by everything. Even the beautiful things have been bringing up a lot, and I'm curious if you have any advice or ideas on finding the balance of how to be present with those overwhelming moments and finding stillness and peace there as well.
Yeah. And I just want to say thank you so much for your courage in sharing, because it is really hard right now. It's really hard. And I've been feeling much more overwhelmed. I know that those that I'm close with around me that I've been sharing openly with have expressed that they're feeling more overwhelmed, more stress. So it's real. It's real. Like, I don't want to discount that at all. And my impulse is to say that usually starting small is the best strategy. Can you have ways of maybe kind of giving yourself reprieve and checking out and immersing yourself in something else that helps you to forget for a while? But then can you, for small, short amounts of time, can you courageously step into it? Usually it shows up as sensations in your body or extreme emotion, right? Shortness of breathing. And if you can stay in it for a little while, what it does is it trains the body, the nervous system, the brain to be with and build more capacity to be with it, so that over time you can be with more, right? You do have the spaciousness, the capacity to be with more. And taking it really slow, like dipping your toes in, right? We don't want to jump into the freezing cold water right away, right? We just want to, okay, well, I can take it just a second. And then we might realize, oh, wow, like I can stand knee deep in this water now and I'm fine. I'm fine for a few breaths, and I can step back out, and eventually like we're fully in the water. So just taking little bits of time, like, and then building up. Does that make sense? Yeah. Feel you. You're so welcome. So if there's any last burning share, if anybody really feels called to share, I do want to leave space for that. Yeah, please. Yeah, now with talking about a good resource, right? Our pet friends are always a good resource.
My question is about what you just said about dipping the toe in the water.
Yeah.
So what would that look like?
Yeah. So what it would look like in practice is, so imagine you have some kind of intense anxiety that's associated with a particular situation or something that comes up. You maybe wouldn't go straight to, okay, I'm gonna check out, or I'm gonna kind of dissociate, or I'm gonna do a breathing technique that I know just helps to calm me down right away. So I'm gonna get curious about what I'm feeling in this moment. What is arising? Like, how am I feeling? Where am I feeling sensations in my body? Like, how is it affecting my breathing? And then you can kind of take the intervention of, all right, I know some practices that help to calm me down. And so I'm going to do the deep breathing, and I'm going to kind of allow myself to come into more calm, or I'm going to go, I'm going to go and I'm going to like pet my little furry animal and help me to kind of come into calm. It's just getting curious enough about it that you don't move away and remove your mind and your attention from the actual thing for a little while, right? Because it can be really intense to notice like, oh, I feel a knot in my stomach, right? Like maybe like I'm just gonna like move straight into it. I'm gonna like face it like, oh, wow, what does it feel like? What is the shape of it? Is it moving at all? Is it getting more tight, or is it moving? Is it kind of breaking up? What's happening? Is that helpful? Does that make sense? If you have a full
I
up.
think so.
Yeah.
What I'm hearing you say is a combination of like body-centered soothing
Yeah.
and being with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. I presume that all of you being here means that you have some strategies for mitigating that kind of overwhelm and anxiety, right? We want to use those, but we also don't want to just go to that all the time, right? To find that immediate calm, that immediate relief, or, like maybe like eating ice cream or eating that kind of pleasurable food that helps you to kind of let go of it. It's like, what is actually happening? Getting curious about it for a little while before going to that thing is good. Yeah. Yeah, you're so welcome. It's a great question. All right. Well, we're going to end with simply immersing ourselves in a little bit of sound. And some of you may have heard this piece before. The name of it is a piece that I wrote, and the title of it is plenum. And plenum it's a word that basically means that we are all whole and we are all part of a whole, right? And we tend to forget that. We are whole ourselves. We are whole with nature. We all are whole with one another. So I invite you to take a comfortable position. You can keep your eyes open, or soften your gaze, or close them. Soften your breath. And simply open up to listening. Song is our little send-off for the evening. The light of the sun as it filters through reveals the truth of existence. When I slow down, I can feel my heart. It speaks to my soul. I feel the beauty of the universe. We live in a plenum. No, we are not broken. Please open our eyes. Please open our eyes. We are love. We are light. We are whole. So if we are whole, why do we despair? Let us live in truth. Let us turn to each other. We live in a plenum, no way unbroken. Please open our eyes. Please open our eyes. We are love. We are light. We are whole. We are whole. When I need a friend, I will look within. And when I look within, I will see your face. Where do I end and you begin? We are whole. We are taking a couple more gentle breaths, allowing yourself to be infused with the practices we engaged in together, with the song in our closing. If your eyes have been closed, I invite you to open them again, coming back into the space, and thank you for all being here. I'm really grateful to be in your presence, and may we continue to show up and do the good work that we're all doing. May we be as well as we can be, and continue to hold discomfort, and also remember that there are things to be grateful for. Yeah. I think that there may be some announcements. One announcement that I have is I'll be here. I will be here on a Thursday in May, June, and July. I'm not remembering the dates off the top of my head, but you can check the schedule. I'm going to be teaching a 3-part series on how to kind of do these everyday practices to continue to show up and be present for our lives in this time.